Right, this is some external or internal review of my MK18 MOD 1 made by WE. So it's the AWSS system, but there's very little parts on these on this gun that's still original. Right, start with the suppressor. It's made by 5KU. It has the correct markings, except on the real one the markings are not as white, they're more like, you know, grayish, I would say. And also on the real one the serial number is a lot different, but you know, it's anodized, it's pretty good quality, and it comes with steel flash hider, and there's very little wobble. And it only cost me about 35 bucks, something like that. So I would say this is a much better buy than the VFC one, even though the serial number on the VFC looks better. You can see I have a spring here to keep all the pieces in place, some foam, dampen the sound a bit. Then right here you see we have some, if you can see it, I'm not sure if you can see it. Let's go like this. Let's see. Yeah. You see I have some plastic baffles inside from bottles. Just took the cap off some bottles and drilled a hole about 8mm wide. I have about 3 baffles in there. The last one there is probably about 9mm wide, because the further you get away from the barrel, the more spread you're gonna get from the bullet. The first baffle in there has a hole about 7.5mm wide, and these baffles work pretty good, even though most of the sound comes from the bolt slamming backwards and forward. The rifle itself. Real, I believe possibly BCM or Brunel's takedown pins. Alright, I have them. Here we have my anger gun fire selector, I have put some cold bluing on, and then harden it with a flame, making the finish a lot stronger than the original one. The version 2 Rawtech CNC steel hammer, trigger, disconnector, and the version 1 valve blocker. And even though it's a lot weaker than the version 2 valve blocker, it doesn't matter if you use the version 1 or 2, as long as you use the stock firing pin assembly. You can use the Rawtech steel firing pin, but the assembly itself has to be the stock one. Otherwise, you put too much wear on the valve blocker itself. I have the Madbull MK18 pistol grip, real steel, made in the US. Put some skateboard tape or sandpaper grip on it. Give me some more grip. Version 2 bolt stop. Find that the version 3. The version 3 doesn't work well together with the Rawtech steel bolt carrier. So if you use version 3 or version 4, you're gonna have to file it down quite a bit to make it work. The stock is real steel 2, Madbull MK18. The buffer tube might be a DPMS or a Brunel's. That's a mil-spec 6 position, real steel. Cast nut is a DPMS. The Tapco receiver end plate. Also have a stag arms or Colt real steel carbine buffer. And a Rawtech winter spring to put less wear on the hop-up chamber. And possibly the nozzle and the receiver. I love these pins. They are amazing. Look pretty good too. The anti-rotation links are not real steel. They're made by TSC, I believe. It's a copy of the KNS, I believe, Gen 1 anti-rotation links. But they look good. Except the pin here was a bit too small for a hole, causing the box here to crack. So what I did was I put just a thin layer of Loctite well, the pins here were a bit too small for a hole, so the box cracked. So what I did was I put just a little bit, like a small layer of Loctite on the pin, causing it to fit very snugly in here. And since then I haven't had any problems with the trigger box cracking. Mag release and mag catch are real steel, made by Colt. And that's it for the lower, except for a trigger guard, which is Madbull. Here I just have a sticker from Madbull. I think it looks pretty cool. And the receiver is Colt, of course, but it is a standard WE receiver with the Colt engravings. The upper, we have the Madbull MK18 rail system, standard WE upper receiver, charging handle from DPMS, bolt carrier. It's actually the AAC one. You have the logo right there, if you can see it. Flower. And it's the 2015 type. Sticking to a standard nozzle because I find this most reliable. Also have rounded off the edges on the lugs here to make them last longer. Put a little less wear and tear on. It's been working great because I haven't had a nozzle break on me once since I actually did that, and that was about 4 years ago. The hop-up assembly is standard WE, but it's version 4. So it's made pretty sturdy. Dust cover is made by Colt. The forward assist as well. It's real steel. The sides here are pretty awesome, but they're not real steel. They're clones, but they're great. The front one actually has some trades. We have the aimpoint. Works great. It has all the correct markings. I'm not sure who made it. Maybe GMP, maybe Element. I'm not sure. We have the Maple Leaf 70-degree bucking. It's the diamond bucking. I prefer them over the newer ones, like what do you call them, Autobot and all Decepticon and all those buckings. You know, I try to use a 75-degree Autobot, I believe, bucking ones, and after about 60 shots, the nozzle got ripped in two because the bucking was so fucking tight. And the rail covers here are actually real Ergo rail covers, real steel, and they are a lot softer than the fake Element ones. The light is a clone, maybe Element, but it has the correct trades. The inner barrel is made by Rawtech. It's 6.01 type bore. Goes all the way to the end of the barrel and not the end of the flash hider, which I prefer. And the flash hider is steel. Then I have a Madbull extension here. Otherwise I wouldn't be able to use a suppressor here. The outer barrel itself is made of aluminum. It's a stock part. Yeah, I think that does it, I think. So let's put it back together. that's my gun. Thank you.